July, everyone. And I know it's a couple of days early, but I do believe we're celebrating this weekend and probably next, I don't know. But July 4th represents the Declaration of Independence and the birth of this nation, the United States of America. And it broke free from England, which is, in my case, quite ironic, because I was born in England. You can't tell it from my accent now, but I was born in England, and we celebrated Guy Fawkes Day. And we had lots of fireworks, and we had lots of bonfires, we had all that stuff going. And Guy Fawkes Day was celebrated because of the failure of a group of Catholics, of all things, Guy Fawkes being one of them, tried on November 5th, 1606, tried to blow up Parliament. So he, of course, was captured. I don't know if he was killed or not, but he's no longer with us anyway. Lived that long. So I guess there's a slight correlation there, United States and England, and the United States today, where I feel there's a lot of rebellion. I feel there's a lot of chaos and confusion that's occurring in this country right here in this moment. And I believe, and I have to believe, and I would encourage you to believe, that everything is unfolding for a higher purpose. It doesn't make a difference which side or which party you belong to. What makes a difference is that you hold that high watch, that you be a light in this world. That's the most important thing that you can do. And Joyful Gathering is a place we come to let go of all the outside stuff and focus on growing our spirituality. That's why we're here. This is a respite. We take a respite from all the craziness that is going on, and just know that there's a divine authority that we answer to, and that is within us, and it's everywhere. There's only one. Remember that, truly. And we'll find out when we leave these bodies. That's when we'll really find out. I have a teacher, Dr. James Mellon, who lives his life, including the loss of his teenage daughter in a tragic car accident, by this affirmation, and it's one that I'm using now all the time, and I encourage you. My life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. No matter what goes on that upsets us, my life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. And we can even say, my country is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. So that's what I encourage us to do. And as we celebrate independence, let's keep that independence alive. Let's really keep it alive. And just move into this higher vibration of this spiritual teachings that we have here. This is what we want to focus on, because we know what we resist persists. So we don't want to focus on fear and doubt and confusion. We want to focus on clarity, on gratitude, and of knowing that there is one power that is in charge, no matter what. So, this Sunday and the next few Sundays, we are going to be celebrating and commemorating our personal, individual, spiritual growth and expansion or evolution by looking at where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. That's going to be the topic for the next few Sundays. And I can assure you that this will be a very powerful series of talks, because I think everyone, this community coming together as a collective group, a collective consciousness, brings the power to the idea of freedom, of love. This group brings that vibration of oneness much higher than doing it alone. So, your past, your present, your future, you're going to look at them in new ways that support and empower the value of your past, the incredible now, and the amazing future. All of which are, of course, part of your journey of expressing the God of your being and expressing it in the highest possible way. These talks will be personal, and we're going to start right now, as soon as the train passes. I like to you to think back before you found this spiritual path, before you really began this spiritual journey. Perhaps that was 50 years ago, or 30 minutes ago when you walked into this room. I would suspect that most of us are somewhere in between the two. But right here, right now, identify the time period. You're doing this work inside yourself, and continue it all week. And you know, inside your bulletins, you do have paper to write on. That's there for a purpose. So, the time period in your life where you really starting taking seriously these spiritual teachings, because that's the way to live life. I know that. When you said one way or another something to the effect of, I need to do and think differently. What I'm thinking and doing, it just isn't working out for me. It's not bringing me joy, peace. It's not bringing me the quality of inclusion. It's not bringing me those qualities which bring happiness. So today is going to be about being grateful. Grateful for putting our feet on the path and celebrating where we are right now. Just celebrating. We only have the eternal now. So celebrating this now moment. And we're celebrating because we said yes to this spiritual journey, or you would not be in this room with this community. Now, I've used this story before, but it went so nicely with this talk, so I'm going to use it again. One Sunday, a visiting minister gave a sermon about celebration and about being grateful for all the special moments and experiences in our lives. And during that lengthy talk on gratitude, he spoke of many things in his life that he had to celebrate, including his college graduation, his marriage, the birth of his children, his ordination, and on and on and on. Then, with the microphone on, he moved throughout the congregation and he asked the congregants about the blessed moments they would like to celebrate in gratitude that morning. What were they really grateful for? Sir, one man spoke out. Oh no, this is the minister. I'm trying to tell a story. So the minister went through the congregation and he cheerfully, with his microphone, this man was raising his hand, and he put the microphone in front of him and he says, could you tell us about that special moment in your life right now that you would like to celebrate? Yes, came the quick answer from the man. I would like to celebrate the one time I went to church and we had a short sermon and we got out on time. that anyone here would think that we run too much over. So we're not going to put ourselves in that category. But in case you didn't know, there was one sermon that was given. It was absolutely, and this is in a book of trivia, the longest service ever. This was never, it's on record, in case you're interested. It was delivered by a minister in West Richmond, Washington, in 1955. It lasted 48 hours. This is in the book. I believe the book. And 18 minutes. A congregation of 8, they stayed right to the very end, right to the end. Today will be much shorter than that. Guarantee you, much shorter than that. So, back to gratitude. We want to be so grateful for so many things, and we know that gratitude is the highest vibration we can have because it draws to us more and more of things to be grateful for, and people to be grateful for, and ourselves to be grateful for ourselves. And I told you that this is going to be a personal month, and we're starting with today. So just take a moment to think about your spiritual journey and the moment that you will put on it. If you are if you're anything like me, it was pain that put you on that path. And I have to say, pain is a great motivator, isn't it? Great motivator for getting you to do anything. And that's the trick, to do something. So I would like to invite you to feel into, with deepest gratitude, whatever it was, whatever experience, whatever time period that got you on your spiritual journey. For myself, it was an absolute feeling of emptiness. Even though I had lots of family around me, lots of joyful things going on, not so joyful things going, but it was this emptiness within me. And I didn't know what a New Thought, religious science, spirituality, and center looked like. But I prayed, my Catholic upbringing, to the Holy Spirit, right? So I'm praying to the Holy Spirit to find me, whatever this was, to help fulfill me. That's what brought me, it took 2 years. That's what brought me to the point of walking through a door and hearing Ernest Holmes, not him personally, but for the very first time. And it was like, yes, this is it. I couldn't get enough. I still can't get enough. I still can't get enough. So you may have felt gratitude for your reason of being here. That's what I want us to do, no matter how painful, whatever it was, to feel gratitude because it got you into these teachings, and these teachings change lives. I've seen it, I've felt it myself, I know it to be true. So this morning, I am inviting you into a new way of being with whatever brought you here. Just for a moment, you can pick up your pain and anger and upset and whatever other emotions that may have brought you about into this room later if you want to. But just for a moment, I ask you to recognize and be grateful for that experience because it put your feet on this path. And this path is so rich. It's so incredible. And those of you who've been in this for a little while know what I'm talking about. It is incredible. This New Thought, religious science, is a belief in oneness, in unity, and it's, for me, the best spiritual path to be on. There's no other path I want to be on. None. And I study new things, and they all verify this is exactly true. Science is proving consciousness is everything. It's coming into the scientific realm, and it is being proved. This is what Ernest Holmes knew, and other New Thought teachers. They knew this. Well, now science has to prove everything. Science is actually trying to prove, but they do agree. Popular mechanics and a lot of quantum physics books that I've been reading, that consciousness is all. There is nothing but consciousness. And the space that they can't identify, that's consciousness. That's us. That's the God self. And it's in each and every one of us. So that brings us to being grateful for the now. How powerfully that prepares us to be grateful. Because we create in the now. We create. You can't create from any other. You can't create from the past. It's over. You can't create from the future because it's unknown. But you can create in the now moment, which, as I said, is eternal. It's always now. You ever see those clocks? I always wanted to get one. This says now, all the way around. Because it's always now. And I made an interesting observation about myself over my 32 years of practicing this amazing faith, philosophy, spirituality, and a way of living called religious science. And I've shifted and grown, and we watch ourselves go through these different evolutions, and it is mind-blowing because we are powerful creators of our experiences. No one else can create our lives but us. That's how empowering this teaching is. As I traveled on this journey of awakening, I would have a particular way of being and looking at the world, or speaking, or thinking, or feeling. And then I realized none of that served me. So gradually, so my foundation class is so important. It is teaching you the creative process. It's teaching you affirmative prayer. It's teaching you what this philosophy is really about. And it's so powerful to know how we create. Because there is a whole philosophy behind that. So I intentionally stepped forward in my life to create something new, to let go of the old. Forgiveness. That was that was the biggest thing that I really had to learn, was to forgive the past. To really forgive it. And that took a while. But once it came, it was like, wow, I could release that whole attachment to hate. And if anyone has ever truly hated, you know it's an extremely powerful emotion. It really is. So I was able to release hate through that forgiveness work. And that opened up the door to all the good to rush into my life. It didn't mean that all the different circumstances were going to happen, because they sure did. But I couldn't hold onto any kind of hate for anything that took place. I just couldn't. So I did all of this through my spiritual practices, through self-awareness, through prayers, through seeing these highly trained practitioners and ministers that we have here. Incredible. If you haven't been for a practitioner's session, I would highly recommend it. You want to get to the bottom of something, they will identify it and go to the spiritual truth and get you into that way of thinking and pray. Those prayers are very powerful at the end of the session. And another thing I did was I never stopped taking classes. I was teaching 3 or 4 classes a week at one point. I had another spiritual center, and then I came here and I was teaching 3 classes a week, and I immersed myself in it, and it was so great for me to do. Great. And I didn't get rid of, but all the people in my life that had been toxic were released, including my former husband. Out the door. Actually, I went out the door. Yeah, out the door, and it was the greatest thing. That's when I really proved the spiritual teachings, because the universe supported me every step of the way. And I said, this stuff is really real. And that was after studying it for 20 years, because I left 12 years ago now. So, I think that through all of my spiritual practices of self-awareness and prayer and all of those different tools that we have, that I could shift and change my life. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
Anybody? Not with me?
Yes.
You will be at some point. And if you're not, come back next week, because I will continue to speak this word of truth. I will continue. And then I shifted and I changed. Now pay attention, because here's the phenomenon. When I became a more evolved version of myself, I instantly forgot my old self. The old way of being, behaving, emotions, and feelings, and therefore actually realizing that it felt that I had changed, and it felt like all of those things that I had hated growing up and through to my 40s were an illusion. I get Course in Miracles now with that. Truly, I can think back and there's no emotion there. And that's change. That's huge change. That's forgiveness. That's change. So, I simply became the new me, with this evolved and expanded way of looking at the world and myself, or speaking and thinking in those ways. I had to give up gossip. I always liked a little gossip here. You know, it's like, tell me about it. But, you know, when I do that for more than 2 minutes, it's like my whole energy goes down. And I gotta work really hard to get it back up again. So gossip had to go. So that went. So we make huge, monumental, life-altering shifts and changes. But we don't always realize it because it's so subtle. And then we look back and go, oh, wow, when did that happen? How did that happen? I feel so much lighter, so much happier. And it's only in those moments when we consciously choose to reflect on where we've been and where we are that we really can get stopped in our tracks sometimes and say, wow, I'm so much happier now. I'm so much happier. And look at the changes. I'm completely different. My entire life has changed. Doesn't mean your personality goes away. I mean, you can't, I'm one of those whack-a-moles. You can't get rid of that. Your personality stays. I believe you're born with that personality. And it just stays. And I don't have the thoughts, the old thoughts running through my head all the time. They're gone. Where did they go? When did I stop being so afraid? When did I start responding to life differently? I feel so much better than I did. And I believe that the universe, I really do, is here to support each and every one of us. I truly do. I now have a stronger relationship with the God of my choosing, which is me, because I believe we are all gods, each and every one of us, blasphemous or not. I don't care. That's what I believe. If you believe in oneness and you believe in unity, then you also have all the God stuff in you. Therefore, you are God. How powerful is that? Very powerful. Dennis Merritt Jones wrote in his book, The Art of Being, give yourself the gift of a sacred moment in the now, the great and clear intention, and contemplate and connect with the miracle of life, where God is always present. Celebrate your unity, he says, where you truly are one with God, and to be in awe. The word awe is the root from which the word awesome comes. So that is, we know it's all God, he writes this. And so God is awesome. And if God is awesome, we too are awesome. It's just a matter of time to think about the wonder of it all. I want us to take a few minutes to think. Think about the wonder of it all. We don't. Lots of times we live in fear. Again, we go back to my life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. My country is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. You're not tied to any opinion. You're just tied to your own consciousness, which is connected with the consciousness of everything and everyone. If there's only one, then there's only one, period. So I want us to take a few moments now to think about that wonder of it all and to celebrate what is. Think about all the things in your life that you could be grateful for. And this room here that we are in, it's not just part of a building. It is consciousness, a consciousness that is being held by a collective group that welcomes and celebrates and honors you just the way you are. You don't have to change at all. You don't want to change, you don't have to change. It's not going to bother me. But that's your choice. We all have choice. And you'll know it. You'll know when you walk in because you feel like you walk into a wall of love. A wall, not even a wall, an atmosphere of complete acceptance and celebration. We love to celebrate. We love to celebrate. Why not? Fill the room. Fill this room with the energy of your gratitude and celebration, and feel yourself receiving it right now. Breathe it in several times. Keep breathing it in. So what I want everyone to do is stand up. Everybody stand up. Hold your hands out or up, because I like the power position. And make this an extension of your energy, right? Your love, your joy, your celebration, and your gratitude for where you are right now in your life, for all these incredible people here in your life. You can turn around and just be so grateful for each and every person here. And this is what I want you to do. First of all, I want you to give yourself a standing ovation. I want you to say thank you, thank you, thank you to every single person who has had any hand in any way, shape, or form in creating this community. So I want you to turn to the person next to you, behind you, whatever it is, and thank you for this community. Thank you. And the other person says that you are welcome. Thank you for this community. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. gratitude flowing in this room. When we really get into the stream of gratitude, there's a natural pull to a higher life. It's a high vibration. We're all frequencies, because we're all vibration, we're all energy, right? A life which has more meaning, purpose. This is a higher consciousness, feeling tone, and appreciation for all things that begin to then attract themselves to you. You are in harmony with that gratitude. It is the vibration, if you didn't know. Gratitude is the vibration of prosperity. So if you would like to be prosperous in your life, in every way, gratitude. That's the frequency of prosperity. I love these words from Dr. Ernest Holmes on gratitude. This is in Science of Mind, page 497. An attitude of gratitude is most salutary and bespeaks the realization that we are already in heaven. So thank you for participating in that gratitude bath, because that's what we just had. We just had a gratitude bath. I want to bring our time together to a close by sharing with you a writing called I Put My Hand in Yours. The author is unknown. And this speaks to the power of the collective that we have experienced here this morning, and that we experience every single time we come together. So it goes like this. I put my hand in yours, and together we can do what we would never do alone. No longer is there a sense of hopelessness. No longer must we each depend on our own unsteady willpower. We are all together now, reaching out our hands for power and strength greater than ours. And we join hands. We find love and understanding way beyond our wildest dreams. And so it is, my friend.